You only need to see half my face anyways.
What?
You only need to see half my face anyways.
Hello.
Hi, Austin.
Somebody talking to him?
Don't talk to him like that.
Huh?
Don't talk to him like that.
You gonna pay his bills?
I already have two of my own that I paid for.
Exactly.
Never mind.
Who is he talking to?
Just because he heard you say what's up, he's now like, well, let me say what's up too. What's up, is Meat?
I miss Meat.
Hey, Swerve, do me a favor, turn off that light.
So what's up? How are you?
Good.
Long time no talk. You're good, Austin? Let me talk to Austin. I talk to you all day. Let me talk to Austin.
Yes.
Hi, Austin. How was school today? You sounded like you were having a really good time.
Yeah, I was.
Good. School was fun?
Yes.
Good.
What's up, son?
Cute.
It's a shit.
Too cute.
You gonna do a toast? Am I doing it?
What's up, fool?
What's up, fool? Am I doing a toast?
Yeah, always. Oh, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining another live session with the We're Not So Different podcast hosts. Please check out our We're Not So Different podcast on your favorite podcast platform and subscribe, review, and share with your friends. Please. Yeah, now you can say the toast. What's the toast? What are you drinking?
Okay.
First of all, can we replace Ali with Austin?
You get permission from his mom. You can do whatever. What should my toast be on?
Yeah, I mean, we just had Thanksgiving. You have nothing to be like thankful for.
No,
and your birthday! Hey,
We
everybody, wish Ali happy birthday. It's his birthday month. Happy birthday. Or as my mother would say, Happy Bears Day.
Happy what?
Happy Bears Day.
Happy Bears
Because
Day.
she couldn't. There's not a th sound in Farsi.
Oh,
We don't say the. So she would say Bears Day. Happy Bears Day to you. Happy Bears Day to you. Like that.
That's funny. What do I want to cheers? Maybe 29 days left of 2020. I don't know. What should I cheers? I don't know, man. I'm trying to think what I had in this. Oh, all right. I got one. Huh? What'd you say?
How much that you have friends who actually care about you now?
Used to. I'll throw one out there that I heard in the news.
Okay.
There is finally a woman referee in Champions League soccer, the first one ever. So I'm actually going to cheers that, actually, because I think that is long overdue. They have a woman referee in the National Football League, but it's like all these sports that women participate in at the highest level in their area, and they are lackadaisical in having them be coaches or refs or whatever. It's really doesn't make a lot of sense, but congratulations to her. I don't know the lady's name, but the first woman referee in the championship league.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
I'm good. Why don't you get do you know how wasteful those water bottles are? Wait,
I'm trying to think about if I really want to even hear you talk about this right now.
I mean, I don't know the details.
Actually, we got time.
The fact that they're so small.
We got time to burn.
So small.
We got time to burn. Kick it. What you got?
What?
I said, no, go through your.
I don't have any facts
Go
or
through your diet. No,
statistics.
go through your. No, I don't even need facts. Just opinion. I'll settle for opinion. Tell me all
I'm
about
just saying, it's so wasteful to when you're just sitting at home to be drinking from such a small plastic bottle when you could be using cups and, you know, refilling them. Like, I never buy water. The only reason I have any water bottles is because I had to take it for like a trip or something like that. But
That's
other
like
than
with
that,
your
I always use these. I even take these with me on trips. Like if I'm going on a plane, I'll have an empty one that I'll fill when I get to the airport. And Oakland has good water, doesn't it? Isn't it East Bay Mud?
They don't sell cups in cases of water at Costco.
You're
So.
ridiculous. Miss Meet Me says it takes more water to make that bottle than is in it. You're wasting water
Me
and energy, and you're just gonna cry. You're so horrible.
Oh, please! I want to see tears.
Stop. The only time I cry is in front of you is when I'm so fuming angry
never
at
cried in
you
front of
and
me.
I just can't stand you, but like I can't strangle you either, so I want to cry because
You've never cried in front of me, so I'll be doing my job.
And I will never cry in front of you.
Oh, that just means I need to try harder.
Hate you. You need to stop. Every time you drink out of that, it's so annoying. Like
Why?
how much water is really in that? Like it's not even satisfying.
Yes.
Get a water bottle. That's what I should get you for your
ounces?
birthday is a water bottle.
Damn.
I'm gonna get you like
ounces?
one of those giant ones that you drink that's like this big that you can just chug. It's like your whole day's worth of water in just one giant container, one giant water bottle. That's really what I should get you for your birthday.
So I want to read this comment first before I start capping on your ass. Sadia said, Rebecca and I buy the 1.75 liter of liquor to save the environment. I wonder, Miss Meet Me, do you know how much water goes into making alcohol? Do they waste more water making alcohol than they use, or what's the story on that?
Start doing Google searches on it.
So tell you what I'll do.
What will you do?
This is what I'll do. So these little minis from Costco, these wonderful minis, right? They have, dual usage. I do have water bottle containers, and I have cups, and I have the thermoses, and I have, the regulated. Oh, she's going to do some research real quick. I have, the little, water bottles for riding bikes, and I have the clean canteens and all that. So since you want me to move off this, I will. And now every day, once school starts back at lunch, you can drive to my son's school and make sure that he has some water, fill up his cup during the lunch hour, and then go back home after that.
He doesn't have a water bottle of his own?
Yeah, them clean canteens. Have you seen the size of their smallest ones?
They're big. I know. I used to make my kids and I, we each had one of these.
For the record, yes. For the record, this is wasteful.
Huh?
Yeah. For the record, this is wasteful.
It is, especially your home. Why are you drinking it?
Look, it tastes like those are Austin Ready water bottles.
Oh, yay!
You say, why am I drinking them?
Yes.
I'm going to give you the old black man answer, because I bought it.
Save them.
Taste like, can you please fill her in. Please fill her in on why I do anything. Because it's mine and or I bought it. That is the standard answer. Got to learn
You
using
care
stuff.
just a little bit more about the environment.
I probably should. But I'm too busy. But I'm too busy dealing with social injustice. Sorry.
Never too busy to do it all. Never too busy. These are just little habits that you can have. It's not that time consuming. If anything,
Did you know they
spend more
added
energy
minerals?
going to Costco to get water bottles or filling that up. I can probably put like 4 of those in one of these. So you probably get up more than I do.
Do you know what this thing would look like if it came back home from one day at school? You ever seen the damage inflicted by elementary school kids?
Yes, I have kids.
But you know what though? Do you? I don't know that. They add minerals for taste.
East Bay Mud water is really good. It actually tastes really good. So I don't know why you're complaining.
So you drink out of the trough, huh?
I'll drink out of the sink if I have to. It's fine. You'll be fine. Drink it. The baby.
Drinking sounds
You're
like
the reason.
that's famous last words. Stop being a baby. Drink it.
Drink the poison. Drink the Kool-Aid, Ali. Drink it.
I don't know. Maybe after December, I might start just doing alcohol things since it is a happy hour. I've been slacking on my macking.
Been slacking. Yeah, now that, what else are you going to do for your birthday?
My birthday was on Tuesday, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's public information now. So you're not going to do anything else?
No, I got the, I do have a Brita. Somebody gifted that to me. Tastes like but sometimes you only want that much water. They are very refreshing.
I can't. You and your friends.
That's why they're friends. They're supportive, and when they disagree with you, it's behind closed doors, not in front of everybody.
No, your real friends would want to help you be better.
Not cool.
And improve.
Yeah, but I'm saying
Not
behind
condone-
closed doors.
Not condone poor habits.
Hey, poor habits.
Poor
I mean, I
habits.
can see not being at the top of the environmental list. You know what I mean? I may recycle these or whatever, but I don't know about poor. That's like at the bottom. Take it easy.
I don't know. The fact that you're just sitting at home drinking those is what gets me. Like you're not even like at
Correction.
the park or something. Like
So let me clue you in on. That's kind of harsh, right? Exact. Thank you, Becca. Let me clue you in on something.
what?
Just because I see what you're doing. You're doing like how the peoples do. You got to quantify and justify yourself. So I'm gonna justify it for you.
Okay.
So I only ever drink these during our happy hour. So I literally have one of these a week. And the
Okay.
last time I actually went and bought one of these cases was months ago.
Okay.
So that's the only time I actually do drink it.
Okay.
Tima, yeah, she's not gonna support me. Her job
She
is to
said
beat
she
me down.
supports him. I support him.
Her job is to beat me down, nitpick every little thing that
No,
I do.
I'm not supposed to support. I won't ever support him in anything.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, she's not here to support me.
Mm-mm. Not unless it's something that I think he should be doing.
I'll tell you what, don't take that attitude over to friends when you start cooking, because that shit's going to get old. Stop wifing people, all right? Stop wifing people.
I'm not
Be
trying
cool.
to watch.
You doing the wife shit. How many of those bottles do you drink a day? You just sit at home, drink.
They're
That's
more
not
conscious
cougar-
of that.
that's
in
not-
France.
hey,
I don't
listen,
have
that's
to,
not
in France.
progressive
They're
cougar
more
behavior.
conscious of that in France. I don't have to worry about it there.
It's not progressive cougar behavior. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Son, you're at home. Get a glass of water. Go get me a glass of water.
I bought you a cup.
Couple's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So for Ollie's birthday, I had to make sure that he knew I put
That
like the
Awesome.
least amount of thought and effort
Go get
into
that
his
cup for me.
gift.
No, I'm
So
gonna
I
show it.
got him a Christmas
I'm gonna show
mug.
it. Go get that cup for me, boy.
You're gonna show it?
That thing wrapped up in paper next to the red can.
It's still wrapped. It wasn't even wrapped. It's
I didn't open that.
store paper.
Now for the people on here, I'm not gonna re-gift it to anybody else on here, but we'll just.
It will
This-
get regifted.
This is what she got me.
Literally least amount of effort.
If anyone wants a crappy gift, holla at your boy. I'll pay to ship it to you. No worries there.
But it's I did wash it, so it's clean.
You said you
But-
what?
I did wash it, so it is clean.
I
You should use
wash.
it for water.
I wash also. I wouldn't even trust you to wash this. It's probably lined with dry cyanide or something. I'm not drinking none of
Possible.
that. I'm gonna wash it and put it in the oven and then wash it again.
Tima said it's backward to us. It said slay
Yeah.
all day. Because I just figured I could see him in his living room in his pumps and his gold leotard doing the Beyonce put a ring on it dance.
It pumps in a leotard. That's hilarious.
Gold lavender instead of black lavender.
Oh man, that's funny. All right. So it's likely backwards to him too. Yeah, probably. Yeah,
He
definitely.
might have liked it if it was, Tima.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do with this, Tima. I might send it to you, Tima. Honestly, we'll see. All right. What are we supposed to be talking about?
I don't know.
You said post thanks. Post thanks.
Just post
I
Thanksgiving.
don't like to say the word.
What?
And honestly, when people say it to me, I always say happy holidays back or right back at you. I don't even say it.
You don't say happy holidays?
I don't say
Happy
say
Thanksgiving.
thanks. I don't say it.
Okay. You don't say it at all.
I'm trying to think if I said it to anyone this year. Usually people, if they verbally say it, I say same to you. Or if they've sent it via email, I say, hey, happy holidays to you as well, whatever. But I'm Jewish. I don't slay. Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, the more I think about it and the more I reflect on it, the more cringy it becomes to think about and or to say, just because of the history. It's just it's just cringy to me. And I understand it from the other side of the argument, which is, hey, we were pilgrims and we needed a way to survive, and they taught us, and this was our first harvest, and da-da-da.
Right.
I mean, I get it from that perspective, and maybe minus all the bloodshed that followed and the genocide that followed,
right?
Maybe it'd be celebratory. But honestly, when I hear it, even though I'm not Native American, I honestly am just like, yeah, I can't really fix myself to really say it. I might have said it once or twice, but I don't recall just saying it. I have a different word for it.
What is your word?
I actually call it, and Tay Slay has heard me refer to this as National Native American Slaughter Day. That's what I call it.
I've heard you say that.
You've heard me say that.
Yes.
And then
will you gather with friends and eat traditional foods that are made on this day?
Yeah.
You'll partake, but you won't.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like there's the day, and then there's like what you do around it, and that's probably just as equally hypocritical, right? You should probably boycott the whole thing.
I have friends who are Native, and
what do they do?
They celebrate. I mean, not celebrate like
right,
but it's the same. Like they do the turkey and all of that stuff, mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, stuffing, all that stuff.
Yeah, all that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like most holidays now. It's not. No one's really celebrating because of what the celebration is for. It's just.
Yeah, it's about the food. Yeah.
I honestly and commercial.
I honestly wish that they would rename it something else.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's almost. I mean, it's kind of like when you get to Christmas, right? Like, what is it supposed to represent?
Right.
The birth of Jesus. Is that when he was born? Of course not. But it's supposed to be about that, and it's the reason for the season, yada yada yada. So the knowledge of what it's supposed to be, what it's supposed to represent, should help that a little bit. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that. I may have to stop.
What did you do for that National Native American Slaughter Day?
Went to my sister's house and ate. So.
Ate till you were almost gonna die.
Right. Oh man. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's a good topic for us to talk about one day. Is if you take should you rename a holiday or make it a different day? So, example that would be like the 4th of July versus Juneteenth. One is for the winner, and one is for the, I don't want to say loser, but one is for the person that won during the American Revolution, right? And the other is for freedom from slavery. So should we celebrate the 4th of July, or should we just pick a different day and have a celebration on that day for something that means something to us? And then what do we do on the 4th other than just take the day off, but we're out there barbecuing as well, right?
I think that until we're all actually treated the same, right? We're all valued the same, then that'll be the real Independence Day, right? Like,
yeah, True.
As long as we're constantly in this cycle of people trying to oppress others to get what they want, you can't really call America free or
Well, yeah, definitely not.
independent, right?
Yeah, no, definitely not. And I'm just wondering, like, how do you, if you say I'm going to forgo everything, or if you still engage in the activity, right? Like the 25th of November, right? Columbus Day changed to Indigenous Peoples Day. Yes,
Mhm.
it did. And I'm thinking about it in terms of some of the bigger days, like last week, as far as if you change the name, if you still engage in the celebration, is that the same thing, but do people really celebrate? No, it's a time for people to get together and have food, right? Which is
Right.
that really celebration? Or even for the 4th of July, like, you don't really celebrate. People go, kids pop firecrackers because they're kids, right? And
Right.
then
It's all about the
adults go somewhere and
fireworks.
drink or go to a barbecue, and it's like, I don't know.
That's all it's really about.
Yeah,
Well, the day after National Native American Slaughter Day is Indigenous Remembrance Day.
right. And that's kind of like, I mean, the day after, I get it, but it's like, what was that day after, though, for them? You know what I mean? So, for example, the American Revolution was the 4th of July, 1776.
Mm-hmm.
The Juneteenth is a different date, right? The 19th of June, I think it's 19th of June, right? For 1865, 2 years after the actual date. The date actually held a significance. So I'm wondering, for the Remembrance Day, did someone say, well, what does Heritage Day, what does November 26th, what is the significance of that day?
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what I'm curious about. Or did we just say, oh, it's the day after, so we're trying to do right? Anyways, that's just my thought. Ms. Meet Me said, people are capable of living with paradoxes. This is true. Sonia said, Heritage Day, Ms. Meet Me, it's important to know the facts and not the propaganda. I agree.
Agreed. We're big proponents of facts and history.
Yep.
So
what
much
is,
propaganda.
huh?
But there's so much propaganda.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So,
And especially for relatively simple things that you would think are pretty cut and dry.
mm-hmm.
What did you do?
I made mac and cheese and some stuffing and went to a friend's house and they deep fried a turkey.
Deep fry the turkey. Did you
Yep.
season your stuffing, or did you use just thyme and rosemary and that's it?
In the stuffing?
Yeah.
It was thyme, I didn't actually have any rosemary. It was thyme. I had fresh garlic. I had some onions in it, celery, salt, pepper. I don't remember what else. Paprika, I think. It was seasoned. It was good. I don't like bland. I don't do bland food.
Okay.
Have you had Iranian food?
Have I had it?
Yeah.
No. We've had this discussion.
You should go get it sometime.
From where?
From an Iranian restaurant.
Miss Mimi said, I told my 7-year-old about the history of Thanksgiving. She says she hates the holiday now. I mean, yeah, that's a common sense reaction.
Yeah.
To what happens when one person celebrates you, making sure that they survive, and then they kill you.
Right.
That would be any normal person's reaction, is like, wait,
right.
Why is this a celebration again?
Why are we celebrating this?
Exactly. Even a 7-year-old knows it.
The baby.
And then you said you had fried turkey. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Have
sister
you been
makes.
keeping up on the news?
Which one?
News.
Your boy trying to make all that stuff happen in office before he bounces, selling off.
Oh my God! All the pardons and stuff like that.
Stuff
they get.
He pardoned the biggest. Oh my! He pardoned Flynn, of all people. He pardoned the craziest dude. The first person out there just like jeopardizing national secrets, and like,
right.
That's the guy that he. Yeah.
The
Anyway,
American people have spoken.
about what?
Now they know. Well, I mean, it's just
Didn't he go on a
it is what
tear
it
for
is.
like? I missed the 46-minute tirade about the election. Did you listen to it?
No, I honestly, after the actual election, I've kind of tuned out all news a little bit.
Okay.
I know we're on the brink of war with Iran or something. One of the top nuclear scientists was assassinated from
Goddamn.
No, but they said
what
the
they know.
Israelis did that.
Huh?
They said the Israelis did that
Right. They said the
with a
Israelis
remote,
did that.
No, this way.
some kind of remote setup on a truck or something with a machine gun or something. They said,
Yeah.
but I think that's a little wishy-washy too. But
So much wishy-washiness. So
yeah, they said these nations are trying to get in stuff before Trump is out of office because he won't sanction them or anything else.
well, no, they'll be sanctioned. It's just I don't know,
Yeah.
and maybe more humanely. I
You
don't
think
know.
so? Do you think the U.S. will sanction them with Trump still in office?
Sanction Iran or Israel?
Israel.
Oh God, no. We're never.
Oh,
sanctioning
okay. That's what I
Israel.
was talking about. I was saying they're doing
Oh.
stuff
No.
because they know there won't be any consequences.
Yeah, they know there won't be any consequences.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if there were any consequences.
Nah.
I would be surprised.
No. I did read an article though about COVID though.
Okay.
They said on Wednesday, 2,800 people died from
On
COVID.
Wednesday.
On Wednesday
In the U.S. or?
in the U.S. alone, and they said that by February there could be 450,000 deaths. That we are slated for the highest infection rate that beats out all of the other peaks in April and July. Hospital beds are filling up, et cetera, et cetera. Because a lot
I feel
of this
bad for the hospital workers, like the doctor. Like, I feel really bad for them.
It never stops, right? They're subject to
they're dying. Like,
subject to the stupidity of other humans. So they're saying very soon we will be at a place where there will probably be 3,000 deaths a day, which they said, to put that in perspective, that's like 9/11 happening every single day. And that's how many people are going to start to die, because one of the issues has been, which they said before, is a lot of the reason for this is that it's not so much the death rate, because I think when I looked at it before, it was something like 1.7 people in 100 die from it. So it's, sub 2%, the flu is like 2% or whatever. For people that actually get it, and usually that's the old and infirm or whatever. But the issue is that once your resources to handle pandemics are consumed, i.e., e.g. hospitals, right? You don't have anywhere to go to be treated. So now your 2% mortality rate goes up to 15%, like in other countries, right? Or higher than that, because there's no proper treatment for it.
Right.
There's no hospital beds for it, yada yada yada. And so obviously the head clown in charge, with that rhetoric, makes people think that it's sweet, when it's not. Then you have all the talk about the vaccine specifically. I know London, I said that I think they approved theirs, right? For people to start getting vaccinated.
Right. I also read that Barack Obama, George W. Bush, and Bill Clinton are like, we'll take it like live or something so that people can see that it's trustworthy.
I told my sister about it. She was laughing, and she was just like, nah, I want to see how you fare every day after that. I don't give a damn about you getting shot that day. I want to see what happens to you after. My boy works for a biotech company. He was like, yeah, I'll take it in a year.
That's what I said. I'll take it in a year.
I'm like, I'm not taking, no.
A year, 2 years.
And one of the vaccines, I think one of the companies that came out with it, it didn't survive. It had a bunch of negative side effects. They filled out the paperwork wrong, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it was just a fiasco. And then I see a clip of people in New York. The police shut down a bar, and they're out in the street yelling, open back up, while the police have this guy's bar quarantined off, and he's on a microphone. This is what we should do around the company. Go and yell at all these places that are closed, curfew, blah, 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 right? And you know what I mean? Like, we should go yell and demand that we do indoor dining in a pandemic. Basically is what he's yelling to the crowd as they're saying, you know, make sure that you open up, et cetera, because we all want to go in there and do it. And I just, you know, I wish
the police were yelling that, or the people were yelling
the people were yelling that.
Oh, okay.
So the police had it
weren't,
blocked
like,
off. This guy
encouraging them
had
to go to the businesses.
this dude had like a bullhorn or something, and they're yelling at the police to open up. And I just wish that they would just say, okay, for everyone that wants a normal life, you go to this one specific area, and you all can get COVID, and there's no hospital around. Since you don't believe it, just don't waste the resources for everybody else.
Right.
Y'all can go to this specific part of the country, and it could be the COVID zone, and everybody who doesn't believe fat meat is greasy, y'all can all hang out in the same indoor dining,
right?
You know, wild parties, orgies, whatever y'all want to do, you have a good time.
Give them an island. Ship them over.
By yourself. COVID Island.
Send them to Alcatraz and convert Alcatraz into COVID Island.
Yeah, the kicker spot. Like, for everybody who doesn't believe and doesn't want to do it because apparently not going into a restaurant violates your freedom, and you're no longer free. So, you know, we'll see what happens. They, you know, predicting it will continue to get worse through next year.
Miss Stevie said they're giving it to elderly first.
Yeah, I think they're going to do like first respond. I mean, it's definitely like a
hierarchy or something.
A hierarchy for it, like first responders and elderly.
What do you feel? How do you feel about the conversations about giving it to prisoners first?
Well, I mean, I kind of feel the same way as I do about when they talk about it for the elderly in nursing homes, right? The issue is that you have a confined space, just like when they were having the breakouts at the nursing homes and the breakouts in the prisons, is you have a confined space that people are limited to for whatever reason, because they're elderly or because they're in prison or a halfway home or whatever. And they don't have the proper, they are either failing to or do not have the proper means in which to separate people, right? And you can't really do that in a prison, right? Based on how they do the cells, this, that, and the other. So to me, from a mortality and a human cost perspective, it makes perfect sense, because these people can't exactly socially distance. You have, in many cases, two inmates to a cell. Tima said they're doing essentials first, and then the elderly.
But how did, I guess for me, I'm so confused as to how prisoners who are supposedly isolated from the world getting a virus that is supposed to be transferred to them. It's not something that just shows up out of nowhere. There has to be a host, right?
Guards.
So the guards are just
that, because that's your in and out. I'm in Alcatraz.
So then the guards should be the ones getting it
I'm
first.
in Pelican Bay, right? So I'm there. Guards coming in. I'm in Pelican Bay. I'm here for 30 years on a double murder, right? The only people that swap.
Not me though, right? I'm not one you killed. No, don't answer.
Well, I had to think about that.
Don't answer.
So the guards.
My bottles shall use.
Oh.
So the guards are in and out. People dropping off supplies are in and out, right? I mean, they're interacting with the guards or whatever, right? Not necessarily prisoners. So you have that, right? So there's your transfer point, right?
So they just were never being safe, really.
What's that?
I mean, they were never being safe or cautious.
No, I mean, you know, and they don't care about the prisoners anyway.
I just don't want the prisoners being used as guinea pigs.
No, and they're not, because they're not the first up. I mean, as Tim had mentioned, the essential workers for sure, elderly for sure, first responders, that sort of thing. I mean, they listen, when it comes to big pharma, we're all guinea pigs. They're not picking on, you know, prisoners or whatever, but yeah. So we'll see. People say guards and new inmates, yeah. And they were doing that too, because ICE was sending a lot of people to prisons as well, right? And some of those folks, you know, had it. So, I mean, it's an unfortunate situation, and one that, like with many things, we don't handle very well because people can't control themselves. They were out there with guns demanding haircuts in the beginning, and they still are, right? Rallies and this, that, and it's like certain groups of people think that anything they have to do different is an infringement upon their human rights, or what they deem to be human rights,
Right.
or what they
Yet
deem
they
to
have
be,
bunkers ready to
to be
go.
freedom.
Yet they have bunkers and full arsenals ready to go.
Right.
But they can't wear a mask.
Can't wear a mask. I should be able
Yeah.
to dine indoor. Team, and also visitors. Not all prisoners are completely isolated. That is correct. Yep. Conjugal visits. So I'm just saying.
That's all you think about.
I mean, if I had to go, for sure, I would definitely. I don't want to get something to where I'm in and I can't even get that. No conjugal. That'd be awful.
Well, don't you have to be married to get conjugal visits?
That's a great question. I don't know.
I think you do.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I better figure something out.
You better get booed up before you
Before I get
kill
arrested
someone.
on this double murder.
I'll start worrying when you get married.
Well, you know what you can do though. There's been a couple high profile cases where people get married in prison.
That's
Get
true.
the
There's
little pen
a lot
pal
of women
going.
out there who are like pen pals to prisoners.
Yep, you're like,
and they're
I saw your case, that double murder. How'd you pull that off so fast? Like, some people celebrate.
There's no way you did it. You're innocent. I don't believe that you're guilty. You would
Yeah,
never
you're right.
do something
I'm
like
not
that.
never.
Don't get me on the witness stand. I'm like, I got him this Slay All Day mug, and he was such a jerk about it.
Yeah. So, I think I would like to think, maybe for good and for bad, that the world will be forever changed by this specific pandemic, if for no other reason, just the risk assessment of people never assuming that something like this would happen. So
Yeah.
now people are taking that consideration, right? It'll impact our jobs for sure moving forward, right? I'm sure there's a couple Frenchmen and Rita for you at Sammy Sci-Fi.
What's Rita?
It's
Is that a prison?
detention center, detention facility in the Bay
I'm
Area.
good.
Center.
I'm not into the bad boys like that.
She's in the bad boys.
I like nerds. No, I'm actually into nerds.
Are you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You gotta go to, like, does Tinder have like a NASA section?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Say it, I'm ready to jail.
Just do it now. Sorry, he's making dinner and
Add water.
bok
So-
choy for your favorite soup stuff.
Bok choy.
Yeah.
Not a huge fan of bok.
You liked it last time I gave it to you.
Yeah, I did, but I'm just not a huge fan of bok choy by itself.
Well, no, it's gonna go in the dish.
Oh, okay. Light bok choy for me.
Yes.
So
I don't want criminals at all. I don't want anyone who doesn't. I'm very square when it comes to stuff like that. Like, I don't break. What?
Nothing.
What did you say? I hate you.
You said white collar crime inmates are in there. Oh, there you go.
I know. I'm good.
So no crime whatsoever.
No.
Convicted, or what if they committed a crime but were never convicted? Or what if they had a good lawyer and they just got off with, like, community service?
What's the, like, they knew they did a crime.
Yeah, just that you got a good lawyer and you play
What
it.
kind of crime? Was it like good trouble, or was it like just I'm greedy?
It depends on the ethnicity.
For me to be interested, if they got into good trouble, I would forgive it. I wouldn't say no, I wouldn't date him. But if he's in there for something that's like out of greed or just whatever, then no, I wouldn't be interested. No cigarettes. Baguettes,
You
yes,
like
no
baguettes
cigarettes.
and cigarettes.
No cigarettes at all. Whoever I'm with cannot smoke.
So okay, so that's a good question for the panel discussion. Who would
Well,
date Who would date a criminal?
Who would date a criminal? You would.
Yeah.
You
A,
would?
a former criminal? Yeah, a former
What's
criminal.
what's your boundary? Like what kind of
I ain't got one.
what if she's a
Murder?
prostitute?
Huh?
What if she was a prostitute?
Is that a crime?
It's illegal in California. So yeah.
I mean, what if she was in Nevada at the bunny ranch?
Then she wouldn't have gotten arrested. We're
Selling
talking about
tail.
criminals. We're talking about
Selling
criminals.
tail.
We're talking about criminals. Would you date a prostitute?
If she was a criminal, if she had got accused and convicted of tooting, yeah, no, I'm good.
You wouldn't?
Yeah, because you could have not gotten caught and be a former toot, and I'll probably pass. However, I would date a woman that was convicted of murder.
Are you serious?
Hell yeah, depends on the circumstance.
What circumstances are acceptable?
Most of them, except for that person didn't do nothing to me. Your face. You just like, what? See, Tay Slate got his hands. I know people's got his hands up.
Yeah, you guys got your hand. I mean, no, seriously. Prostitution is a crime unless you're what? I missed it.
Unless you were underage when you were arrested.
Okay.
Golly said, "Oh my." Sonia said, shaking my head. No, it's not that. Here's why I don't think it's desperate. In all seriousness, right? So let's say you come across a person who was convicted of murder.
Okay.
But there are different types of murders and different reasons. So, for example, real world example, and I hate to use this, I'm gonna knock on wood. If I killed someone because they jumped on Austin, if I went outside and some grown man was running after my kid and I smoked him and sent him to meet his maker, everyone on here would say, no problem, right? If a woman there was a story about a woman in Texas who a dude came into her house to burgle her house.
Mm-hmm.
And she had her son there. She also was a firearm owner. Bang, bang, send him to see the angel Gabriel.
Yeah, but in that case, you wouldn't be charged with murder.
Yes, you would, because a black woman did
in Texas?
A black woman did the same thing in Atlanta. They gave her jail time
because she's
for
black.
defending her family.
Because she's black.
Because she's black. Yeah, that's why I said. That's why I said. The crime, the murder, it actually depends for me on what was the reason for that person killing someone else.
Okay, so I hear what you're saying, and I still could not be in a relationship with that person.
Why?
I just think that there's just so much darkness in that they're going to carry with them because of that I don't think I could be in that like intimate space with them like that. And like I could be friends with the person. I could be friends with them, but I couldn't be.
If they were protecting their son or their daughter or their family,
but there's like
you still wouldn't.
No. There's like a weight that comes with that.
How do you know
I can't imagine doing that, even if I'm justified in it, and not feeling that weight on me. Like I still would feel like horrible that I had to do it. That's a traumatic.
But I mean, but where does that rank in parallel to the life that you saved? Which is your son, your daughter, your sibling.
I'm not saying they're doing anything wrong. I'm not saying, I agree. Like if they had to protect their kid, they had to protect their kid. They had to protect themselves. I'm not judging them. All I'm saying is that when you do that, you have that trauma in you. It's a traumatic experience. And I don't know that I could be in that. That's what would be like.
So let me ask you this question then, and the only reason why I'm asking because I saw the interview with the Iceman and he killed like 200 people. He didn't care. If you knew the person and you guys start like you're in France and you got your little French boy that you with, and let's say that person seemed like absolutely great for like 6 months, 9 months, and you didn't find out till like 9-10 months down the line. But that whole time, you were not perceptive of said trauma, right? What if it hasn't? And I'm not saying it never will, because we all have different traumas or different things, baggage, right? In general, right. But that person's baggage with their mom might be more impactful to your relationship than that dude that they smoked that came after their kid. I'm just playing
Possible.
devil's
It's
advocate.
possible.
I'm just playing
It's
devil's
possible.
advocate.
It's possible. Unlikely.
Because when they get me
Well said.
for double murder, I just want to know there's an opportunity for me out there with some woman, and everybody don't think like
Not
me.
with me, but others possibly. But there's more reasons than that. That's not the only reason I wouldn't date you. Ollie has a partial record for being a worker. That's another reason. So
You
you
don't
have
like
a partial record for being a worker?
Yeah, of course. You don't date anybody with
Play
a
all
past,
day.
huh?
See the mug? It just suits you, man.
Okay, so you know what? So I'm gonna kick it like this then. I'm gonna kick it like this.
Okay.
So, God forbid one day you are protecting yourself from a violator who's coming to your house when there's no one else there.
Okay.
And has horrible intentions for you and your body.
Okay.
And you have to extinguish that person's life.
Okay.
Would you then think to yourself that you are not worthy of dating another or marrying another human being?
No. And I don't think someone who does that isn't worthy of it. Like I'm just saying that I'm an empathetic person, so I would just carry that trauma with me as if I went through it.
But would you like to have the opportunity to be in a relationship and be married?
Yeah, of
even
course.
after that.
Yeah, of course.
So you want to be married, but you wouldn't marry somebody who did the same thing that you did to protect themselves. I literally, after you gave me the example of my French boy who, after the months, I literally said, "Hey, it's possible." It's not something I'm going to go for yet. It's not something that I want to know on the first date. It's like, let me see that you're normal and you've healed and you've dealt with the trauma and you're managing the trauma, then okay. But don't just, if you throw it on me on the first date, I'm be like, oh, that's good. See ya. Hey, everything out there was good to know.
I have enough trauma. I don't need someone who has all that extra trauma too.
Listen. I would want, just me, I would love to know that I'm dealing with a real killer. Because I know if they protected themselves,
I wouldn't. If I was you, I wouldn't. Because you push.
That means they gonna be.
You'll be the next victim. You
quick
push.
Quick draw McGraw. I ain't gotta worry about it. I can sleep like a baby. Somebody break in, not even worried about it. She gonna handle it. Bang bang. Quick draw McGraw.
Said she needs a drink after this convo. You should be drinking during this convo.
I look so good, my love.
That's my godmother.
Oh, she said
she made you look so good. Hi, Googie.
No, I'm just curious. I mean, I think if somebody did it for noble purposes, I'm with it. I agree. Listen. I'm all
okay.
for
Well,
it.
okay. So what are what else? So you would probably with a street worker.
Why? Where did we get that from? I said no. You don't believe me?
If she's cute enough, you might. I think if she's cute enough, you might. Like if she.
Nah.
I'm not talking like translucent or anything.
That's too many people rolling around the streets like, yeah, I know her. Yeah, no.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Look.
So
right, thievery, stealing.
You wouldn't, or you would?
I mean, if they were like a professional cat burglar, like that black lady who was like 80 years old and was stealing like diamonds and stuff, hell yeah, I would. I ain't got that kind of money. I ain't worried about her stealing from me. Petty theft? No.
But what if people are coming after her because of all the stuff that she's stolen?
That's true.
What is this question? Quick question. Do you like a legit Frenchman, musty mouth, full of peanut butter, drunk off red wine? No, I don't. Let me just make this clear. It's not something about French men.
She likes the sound.
Now I'm a little over it, but like I tend to navigate towards men who have accents. That's it. Who are like immigrants. Maybe it's because my parents are immigrants and that's what I grew up around. So it does make me feel like I'm at home. But the French men that I have talked to or dated were actually like half Arab, half French. Just to clarify. So
the best of both worlds.
Fools. Give me a hard time.
Tanya said, "Oh my God, I think I'm a French man. I'm buzzed off red wine and made a peanut butter sandwich."
Based on this people's explanation. my
That's
God.
funny.
Uh,
Petty theft, no. Major theft, like they stole diamonds and robbed museums for art, 100% dating them. What about you?
no. Thank you, Sam.
No kind of theft.
No, I have a moral compass. I believe in God, and
You're so
I believe in
judgy.
karma. So no
What if
theft.
they serve their time?
They served their time.
You got a problem. I wouldn't want somebody
I'm a
hooking up with
square.
you.
I'm
You don't
telling
forget
you.
nobody for nothing.
I'm telling you, I'm a square. So anyone who does something that's outside of like what I think God would be okay
God
with,
mom,
I have a hard
your
time.
God
being
moms
with.
think I'm coming after you. She's like, take it easy. Take it easy.
What happened?
She said, take it easy. My kids just enjoy life.
Oh, she's telling me to relax. She says she thinks I'm too hard on myself.
I am.
She thinks I'm too much of a square. That's
No,
my
I think you're
godmother.
too hard on the rest of the world. Can't nobody have mistakes dealing with you.
I
You're
know.
throwing people away.
I'm not throwing people
Yeah, you
away.
are.
I'm throwing thieves and murderers and prostitutes.
Hey, good murderers. And
Like, I'm not throwing just anybody. I don't, it's thieves,
hey, all
murderers,
thieves matter.
and prostitutes,
All
and
thieves
racists,
matter. All prostitutes
and
matter. All murderers matter.
all murderers matter.
All murderers matter. Hey, you said good trouble. Those were your words.
Good trouble.
Good murder.
I would okay. Like if they're doing something for a cause that's not silly, like it's actually going to make a difference, but they had to break some rules to do it, then I can get down with that. Because in my eyes, if you're doing something that's better for humanity, and it really is, then I feel like God's not really mad at you about that. So I'm like, okay, cool. I think God would be okay with that.
I think your God believes in forgiveness as well, even for those.
He does, but yeah, he does. I can forgive you. I don't have to sleep with everybody. I don't have to marry everybody. I can forgive you.
Everybody.
And be cool with you, but I don't gotta like.
We're just asking about people that may have made a mistake.
Where you're talking murder.
Listen, there's good
And,
murder.
like,
You know how many people are
theft.
murdered every day? It's a common thing.
No, I wouldn't.
All right, whatever, fine. No thieves.
No.
What about a former male dancer?
My son said no, so that's a no. I just won't tell him.
I'll find out. Trust me. I'll find out.
You'll never know. That might be fun.
I'm trying to think what else is a big stealing. We know you're not going for lying.
Yeah.
Stealing, lying, murder.
I hate lying. Hate lying.
Look, what are you doing?
There's good murderers on both sides.
Yes.
You just said that?
Yes.
That? On both sides? What does that mean? Elaborate.
Yeah, because
on both sides.
there is such a thing as good murder.
No racist. I couldn't be with a racist. Like,
but what about if they were Persian though and they were just racist to everybody else?
okay.
I still
couldn't. No, if they were like hateful of, because Persians, like I said before, we think we're better than everyone, but no, like if they treated people like I couldn't be with someone like that. That's just they're just ugly on the inside. I'm very empathetic, so whoever I'm with, Tupac, all I see is racist faces. Nice, Tom. That was impressive, man.
I was trying to pull my inner Trudeau. Well, maybe let's be Trudeau.
Trump. Inner Trump.
Was it Trump?
There are good murderers on both sides.
Okay. Oh, yeah, right. She did say that.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I personally, I believe that. I think that there are instances that cause for the extinguishment of life. Just saying. You can cross somebody or they can do something. You'd be surprised what'll come out of you if you see somebody doing something to one of your loved ones.
No. I know that if God forbid anything, I was ever tested that way. That's why when I hear about like looters and stuff, I just am like, if you're trying to fight oppression and you go by all the right means and your people are still being denied and killed, what do you do? Like at what do you do? Like at some point, like you're gonna go nuts and want to burn stuff and shoot stuff, and so I get it. I get it.
Far be it from me.
Yep. Read the
Far be it
comments
from
because
me.
I can't see them.
Racist faces. Yes, you said I was trying to pull my inner Trump. I'm buzzed. Just go with it.
No, it's great. It's perfect.
All right. So no racists, no bigots, no former
He said
prostitutes.
Persians are all racist except Samuel. That's true.
I mean,
Sorry.
I
I'm
mean,
just kidding. I'm just kidding. We're not all racist. I'm just saying
not all, but
culturally, we think we're better than everyone else.
Most groups are to a degree, or at least prejudiced or stereotyped. Like,
Oh, 100%.
yeah, most of 80-90% of us, I think, are. I think 95%.
I mean, honestly, one of the reasons I can see so many prejudices and biases is because I am so prejudiced and biased myself.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, oh, that's not good. Like, that shouldn't happen. Like, I shouldn't think that way. But
what about someone who had the opposite political belief as you?
I'm sorry, my political beliefs are just like to treat people humanely. Like, so I'm not like a hardcore Democrat or anything. So if you don't believe that people should be treated well and treated like human beings, then yeah,
there's
no,
a little bit of a little bit of nuance there. There's a little bit. It's not that cut and dry.
Okay, go.
Let's break it down like this from
Okay.
a policy perspective,
Okay.
right? Marley said we have a tendency to form in groups, and racism is part of that. Have to fight it in ourselves. 100%.
Exactly. Absolutely.
So I'd rather approach it from a policy perspective. Let's just say that most of the, irrespective of political party, most of the policies that you like or that you go after are related to your theme of kind of general human blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
That person is very different. Let's say it's this businessman who has a French accent that you like and he's very successful, so he's got the money and but the way that he votes for his policies, though, are in the interests of his business or in the interests of his tax bracket.
Okay.
Then what? Would you date someone like that?
No, I wouldn't.
Ooh.
No, I wouldn't. I actually had this conversation with someone who has expressed interest in dating me and was saying that he was, that he thinks Trump's an idiot, but he's been good for his business, so he's probably going to vote for him. And I was like, that's cool. You can just delete me now.
Wow.
Like,
all I've had to say to you this whole time to get you to stop talking to me is I'm going to vote for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And you just not bother me ever again in life.
I will pull away for sure. I can't because we work together, so I can't like get away from you, right? So until you quit or I get some offer somewhere else, I'll still talk to you because I have to, but I will definitely pull away and stop engaging.
Well, I'm gonna go order a MAGA hat right now.
It's a values thing, exactly, Sonia.
Sam said, moving to Texas made me less racist, actually. I got to see too many of them and made me realize how ugly that crap is. Sonia said, most policies I'm passionate about are social, and so I can't date someone who is on the opposite spectrum. It's a values thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the beauty, Sam, about traveling to different places is you get to see the different experiences, and you see, like, I didn't realize how segregated and closed-minded people from Fresno were until I moved to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then it was like my cousin lived in this nice neighborhood and there were Black people in her neighborhood. And I was like, wait a minute, what? Because all I had ever really seen was that the majority of Black people didn't own houses, or if they did, it was on the west side and it was ghetto, like really ghetto. Right. And then the few that did, it was like very random, like one in like, it was like one-offs, right? They were the exception, right? But when I moved to Texas and I lived near the Houston area, I saw so many educated, Black families, good families that, I was just like, I didn't know how segregated I was. And that's really what helped me really get present to my own biases and my own stereotypes, right? Like all of the stereotypes I had about Black people, about Asians, about Middle Eastern people, about everyone. It was just like getting out there, and I was like, dang, like I've got a lot of unlearning to do myself.
Yeah, in a bubble, you know.
Yeah,
In a bubble.
absolutely. And that's why traveling is so important. Like, it should be mandatory for everyone to travel and just see. Because in California, we're like in a bubble. Like, it really feels like a bubble. We could go and see so many different, we could never leave California and be fine. But it's when you leave California and you're just like, dang, like there's a whole other world that I feel like I'm connected to the rest of the world. It's crazy. Plus, the person who voted for Trump may be a liar like so many of them and secretly delights in his cruelty. Where's the lie?
And on that note, all right, so we are at an hour.
All right.
You know, IG does the 4 hour whatever. Traveling is the best. Yeah, I do agree with the traveling piece. That people should travel, and I think international travel is in some ways more eye opening than domestic, but depending on where you are domestically.
Yeah.
But no, I agree, and for because the world is more poor than it is rich, bring that into the classroom.
Yeah.
As an alternative. So it's unfortunate, but we are a peculiar breed. We all have our prices for doing things that are against our fellow brothers and sisters, regardless of color. So in any event, you want to close us out?
All right. Thank you all for joining another Instagram Live with your We're Not So Different podcast hosts. Please check out our most recent episode on your favorite podcast platform. Please subscribe, review, and share with your friends. Have a very safe and blessed week, and we will see you next week. Good night, sir. Bye.